one's the other. And I just want
You mean the fans' opinion or our opinion?
Well, the fans, I don't know about you guys, but I want to know that now that you're both fathers yourselves, has your opinion of John Winchester's parenting changed?
Yeah, he sucked. Letting Jensen drive the car?
I don't know, I think he did a pretty good job.
Would you let him near your kid?
If there's a ghost around our kid, if our kid's being haunted, then yeah, I call Johnny Winchester over.
Yeah, it was an interesting parenting technique. It was kind of a sink or swim kid. Yeah, I don't necessarily know that I'll use that, but yeah, it's definitely something to think about.
Yeah. What do you think? Exactly. You can use bigger words than that, just smaller things happen.
I think you brought up a couple of very well-adjusted young men. The deal is, you know. Anyway.
We love you. Thank you very much. Ciao.
Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to know, what's it like looking back on like first meeting each other, and also what's Dean's favorite type of pie?
Also what?
What's Dean's favorite pie?
Favorite pie?
The kind he gets to.
I don't think, I don't know that he cares one way or the other. Pretty sure if it says pie, he's in. And he's not discriminative towards any kind of pastry product. Looking back, well, the first time that he and I ever met, I think there's probably a few of you who know this, was at the testing portion of the audition thing. The process.
Test
Yeah.
process.
So that's essentially when you go in front of the network in the studio and you give your audition, and generally what happens is there's roughly anywhere from 3 to 5 other actors that you're competing against at the test level. And when you test, then you all go in, everybody reads for the studio, the network, and then you go home and sit and stare at the phone. Which I don't recommend, because I've been on the losing end of that, and it's not fun. But this particular one was weird, because I walked in, Jared was sitting on the couch, and there was nobody else. And I said, hey man,
Is it my birthday?
That's right, that's exactly what you said. And it was, we introduced ourselves, and then that was that, and then we kind of waited, and nobody else showed up. And then they asked us, they're like, okay, they're ready for you guys. And they brought us back together, and we were like, this is weird, where's everybody else? And they had us go in and read together, which is, they don't normally do that either. You go in and you read with like a casting assistant. So we went in and we read together, and it was...
And we had memorized the lines by this point, because we were told that we were being funny people, so they kind of set it up like a scene. Usually you're reading, I don't know if anybody's seen audition tapes, but usually y'all are the cast director, and I'm sitting here reading off the sides. But they had us stand up and do it, and I think it was like Dad had the one that took place in the stairs. Dad gave me a shotgun, and whatever it was. I think that was one of the scenes. That was one of the audition scenes. What was it? What's the one? Dad put a pistol in my hand or something at 7 years old? Yeah, with a 45. That was one of the scenes. They had us stand up and do it.
And then, yeah, and then they asked us to leave the room, and we're like, hey, where is everybody else? So we're the only people auditioning for this. And then they came back and they were like, okay, they want you guys to come back in and try a few different things. And we're like, okay. So we walked back in, and when we did, they all stood up and clapped and said, congratulations, you guys got it. You got yourselves a TV show. So normally it's our agent or our manager that calls and says, hey, congratulations, you got the show, because the studio would call them and then they would call us and let us know. But this time it was us calling our representation saying, hey, guess what, I got hired today. So that was the first time we met, and yes, obviously we remember it very well.
And aside from that event, I think my impression of Jensen In all honesty, it was
Was it
good.
amazing?
It was amazing. I liked him. He's a nice guy, he's personable, but in the LA casting world, and I know you're looking at acting, so keep this in mind. You meet a lot of people that can be two-faced. And not even on purpose, but people who give you this and then you walk away and they say something. But it's a very competitive world, it gets very snickery. And so you kind of meet people, and we had both been in the business for several years. And so I'm sure you and I have both been around people who kind of say one thing to your face and then you hear they said something else behind your back. So you like somebody, but with you don't let your guard down, you know. So it's like, hey, nice to meet you, Texas. He likes the same music and blah blah and this and that. It wasn't until, frankly, until the SHIT hits the fan that you really get to know how you're going to go along with somebody. And so when you work with somebody 14 hours a day, 16 hours a day, 9 months out of the year, flying this way, flying that way, tired, whatever, I think that's when I felt like we really started getting close.
Yeah, when the true colors are revealed, and that doesn't happen very often in Hollywood.
Anybody can make a good impression. It's when you're kind of like the show. It's when you're at your worst that you really got to kind of figure out who you are. Thank you.
Hi there.
Hi.
First off, happy Thanksgiving, especially to you, Jared.
Well, thank you very much. My Thanksgiving is in a month. Just kidding. No, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to the Canadians. Happy Thanksgiving.
Also, for the French mistake, Jared has an alpaca. Would you ever, like, where did that come from, and would you like an alpaca?
I would love an alpaca. I would. They have fur and why? Because you can do stuff with their fur. Socks.
What are you going to do with the fur of an alpaca?
Toques. I don't know.
Why don't you have a herd of sheep then?
Jen wants sheep and opposite. My wife wants to get sheep and a goat and chickens and our nephew had his second birthday party yesterday, and she was down in Austin and she had the party and sending pictures of me, sending pictures of Tom at the party. They had a little petting zoo with like goats and chickens and rabbits, and she's like, "It's begun." But it started because Genevieve and I went on our honeymoon. We hiked Machu Picchu, so there are lots of alpacas. So I think we've been talking about it with the writers, and they thought it'd be funny to have us have an alpaca. And the idea also that a lot of celebrities, kind of as a promotional tool, will get involved with some sort of not arbitrary, but some random, like you said, alpaca, like the albino dolphins of the Galapagos Islands need help. So I think it was just a way to make it as bizarre as possible.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Hello.